emails, campaigns, social media. How to do it.
Tired of the hustle? You deserve to just teach. With Skill Bloomer, it's simple, cost-effective, and completely scalable. Focus on your passion. Our team and AI will handle the rest. Become an AI instructor today.
I think it's time that we could start now. It's time that we could start now.
Okay, let them in.
Yep. So everybody's joining slowly and steadily. So we can just quickly start with our basic presentation first, and then as we move along, we'll have a lot of people who will be joining in. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to a webinar on VR Tech by Digident Global Academy. Of course, thank you so much for registering on this, and also thank you for joining today, because of course I can understand how busy your schedule is, and it's always good to speak to you here. And of course, just going to quickly discuss how we're going to move forward.
Okay, let's go on.
Okay, so we can start with today's session. I'm going to quickly introduce our presenters to you. Presenters today, I would like to first introduce Dr. Manish Chhabra. He's the founder and CEO of Digital Global Academy. Well, just to give you a small glimpse about him, he has been pioneering the dental lab technology for the last 2 decades, and he has developed and scaled operations for CAD-based lab software catering to a US-based dental lab. And based on this learning from these softwares, he has been able to bring in the virtual reality for the training for the dentist. And this is how he was able to start a Digident Global Academy to start, and of course develop all the modules that we're going to discuss today. Then I have Sherrie. Sherrie has been a wonderful mentor to Digident Global Academy, and she carries about 4 decades of training experience, and believe me, she's still training a lot of people all around different parts of the US. And thank you so much, Sherrie, for being on board, and thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
And just to quickly touch upon our agenda today, so we are going to be covering different aspects of training, how VR can help in training in terms of both Dr. Manish and Sherrie sharing how things can be improved with the help of training. And there are a lot of gray areas where you think that people have actually addressed them, but they are still there. So that's going to be discussed in detail. Most exciting stuff right at the end of our webinar. I'm going to do a live demo, and of course with that you will understand exactly how things work. Okay, moving forward. Yes, Dr. Manish and Dr. Sherrie, please take over.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction. And yeah, so I'm going to be starting with Sherrie. What do you think about the assistant training programs which are available right now, and what are the typical challenges dental assistants they face while they are going through that training, and of course nobody can tell us better than you. So please go ahead. You can start.
Well, thank you. Dental assistant schools are very limited in the amount of equipment that they have, right? So there's 10, 20 students in the classroom. And so they don't always get a lot of hands-on because of the equipment shortage. And tonight we're going to be talking about scanning. They don't even have scanners in dental schools, right? In dental assisting schools, to be specific. And so they don't get exposed to these things, right? So in the ones that do have it, there's very little time. So there's minimal practice time that they get on that equipment. And so when they go out into their internships or into they get their first job, the doctors are like, or the offices rather, are like, okay, you went through this school, so now you can just hit the ground running. And that's just not the case because they don't have any practical experience, right? There's no practical experience when you come out of school. And on top of that, there's varying skill levels. Some people are quicker to pick it up than others are. And it really puts a hardship on the office when they've hired somebody that cannot just like step in and run with full speed. So it's really difficult for students specifically to get started. It's just a tough thing.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, that was one of the very main reasons, like, you don't get enough practice time. I will say this, while I was researching about this, where to go in training, and we thought, okay, there is definitely offline medium is there. You have hands-on, you have all these dental schools, which are helping and training to start you for your career, your clinical journey. But then there are certain drawbacks. There are certain, gaps in the systems. And we thought, okay, so why don't we complement something, create something which is, it's kind of a practice medium and it fits right there. While you get, everybody gets enough amount of time, any number of time which you feel confident before you actually do your first real patient. So it's so that's good to hear. I know it's a harsh reality, but yeah, that's the gap we are filling in here.
It is. It's a harsh reality. And, it's there. It makes people more nervous. And when you're nervous, you don't perform well anyway. Right. So having that to do, there's so many challenges that they face coming out of school right off the bat. Let's make it easier. Like, let's do it, make it easier. Right.
Our goal is to make the training engaging, fun, and at the same time, risk-free. I say this. We don't want to experiment on patient, right? So all those errors, like, I still remember first few of my initial patients and, they feel it. So that's I'd say this, patient impact in a certain level, and a patient can experience, can immediately know that you are not so confident. So that is there. And definitely apart from that, I think you become confident and then patient experience goes higher. And at the same time, the clinical head, he's free from training you. He's giving all the time for the patient share time. And so I think it's all win-win. So that's where we thought, this medium is here to stay. And I think it is beyond certain, it is beyond just the patient feeling that impact, but definitely overall, it's very good for the operator.
Everybody. It's great for everybody because it gives so much more confidence going into the thing. And I know on this, we're talking about clinical consequences and the scanning areas. I got to share this. I didn't tell you this the other day, but my first scan that I ever did took me 20 minutes, like 20 minutes. Can you imagine? And because it takes so long for me to learn to do that scan, the next people, they need that scanner to roll around. My friends would tell me the wheels need to fall off first. That's the part that needs to break, is the wheels, right? Because you're moving it around. And so it leads to team frustrations when they don't have, when it's not moving and they're waiting, right, for somebody to learn. And then, there's all the complications. Take my 20-minute scan. There's 6,000 images a second, right? So can you imagine how many images from my 20-minute scan went to the lab? Like, that's just nuts.
No, yeah. So over scanning is the biggest cause of leading to a not so great quality scan. So that's one of the major issues. And I've been in the receiving end of it, because I was
you probably got my 20-minute scan.
Yeah. We used to receive like 3,000 scans a day, and so it's like and we used to get all the sorts of different qualities. So I'm not sure I've got ever your scan, but yeah, but we have seen some of the very weird ones. But yeah, but I think so that's the problem. So okay, now definitely, while I was exploring a right medium, so we are so funny story. I was researching about this training. I'm always passionate about imparting training and enhancing skills. I've been doing this for almost all my career life. And while I was researching for the training medium, and one of the training I took was how an airline crew member handle emergencies. Of course, you can't. Nobody wants to be a part of that kind of emergency, or maybe any kind of. But it was so interesting to see how actually they get trained. It's on virtual reality. They actually simulate that experience, and then all the crew members are trained via that. And it was so amazing. And I actually performed that, and as if like I'm in that situation. I did that entire experience, and then it started me thinking, what, and first thing that came to my mind was a scanning. And it's like, we struggle a lot with those scans which we receive. What if somebody combines IOS scanning training with virtual reality, and see what we can gain out of that? And then one thing led to another, and here we are.
Here we are. Isn't that great? I love it. The best thing about it for me is that because of the medium, because of the self-contained headset and all that stuff, you can practice as much as you want to. Like it's an unlimited amount of time. And when you do things over and over and over again, it's kind of like driving your car. You can get to work and most of the time you're safe, but you don't know how you got to work, right? Because you do it on autopilot. And so it really helps to, this kind of medium really helps to train people in that way to get that muscle memory. You get it to where you can do it. And I think that is fabulous. And I'm just so excited. I hope everybody can tell I'm so excited over this whole project. It's going to change the way that dental assistants, doctors, hygienists, on down the road, business team members, how all of us learn dentistry, right?
Yeah,
it's so cool.
I feel proud about being. While I was researching, I was also seeing who all is doing this, using this medium in dentistry. But to my surprise, there were not many names. And I do see there were people, they were in the medical field and all other fields. But surprisingly, and good for me, good for us, that we are the pioneers here, and kind of wanted to try something really different, and at the same time really impactful, I do feel. And at the same time, we talk about it's risk-free, but at the same time, for the learner, it's also distraction-free. You put that headset on, and nothing else you can do. It's like it's like literally virtual hands-on. There is a voiceover, and it guides you with every step, and it's as if like you're running hands-on in a repetition mode at your own leisure time. So that to me was impactful.
It is impactful. You have your own private instructor right in your head, right in your earpiece, right?
Yeah,
It's so cool.
yeah,
So tell
yeah.
me about this. Share with everybody the modules that we have. Like, what are the things that we have that we can play with and learn?
So first of all, I think what happens is the journey has to be very structured. So what we wanted to give the trainee is the orientation first. So they need to understand about, because again, it's a new medium. It does take a while. Like when I say a while, maybe only 2-3 attempts to get used to controls and everything. And to make that experience even better, what we created a orientation module first. So you are trying, you understand the environment of VR, and then you understand the controls, you understand how to use the wands and what all buttons are there for and all that. And then so you get sense of virtual reality background, at the same time all the controls. So that is just to make you orient with this whole environment. And
I
of
am
course,
so appreciative because I really struggled. I'm like, how do I do this? I have no idea. We're texting back and forth. How do I move?
that's the first one, and this we learned from mistake, right? The first one we created was a kind of and this mentioned here is guide me VR training, and it's basically it guides you. There is a voiceover instruction training. It guides you every step at a time. It's just like we are talking about. It's a virtual hands-on. There is an instructor. You're speaking with every step and you're performing. But then I realized people are not used to using VR. So then we actually, kind of went ahead and we went backwards. We went ahead and make the orientation, and then it made sense. You go through orientation, then you go through guide me VR training, and then you finally. So what what we all recommend here at DGA Dental is like, you try me or guide me, you use that for almost 30 runs or 20 to 30 runs, and you get a very good grip of the entire process. It becomes then your kind of a muscle memory. And then you go on for test me, and then you score like really high 90% and everything. And then we recommend, for any person who's heading the operatory or any training manager, okay, if you're scoring more than high 90%, then the person is good for performing that action on a real patient. So that's how the entire journey is structured. Yeah, let's watch one of the orientation apps, I guess, here, and we'll watch it for maybe a couple of minutes for the audience, and then we can move from there. So here you see all the labelings and everything. So it is actually telling any user, and this is kept for maybe a non-dental person in mind, like this person who is starting from day one, like what is a gauze piece, what is a suction, where is the itero scanner, and all that part. So it talks about little bit about the the environment, and then it talks about how to perform each and every action. So as he moves, it talks about the control. So it says, okay, you click here by this button, and then the thing moves on. So all that. So you can see the wand, and the guy is picking the suction, and so it's all guided. But again, in the orientation. This is right now orientation running, and then the orientation you mainly it's all about the environment and the controls.
And it
Okay.
is much smoother than it's displaying now, right? So it's like you move and then you're able to, it's your movement. So as fast or slow as you move, that's how fast it goes. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's very, very intuitive. It's very intuitive.
Yeah, it's very different when you actually experience it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, at this stage, I just wanted to request all the audience that we are going to be running a couple of audience poll. Request you to all participate. It will help us to understand how we could help you possibly in future. Moving on forward.
Okay, cool. I think yeah, that we get a certain glimpse of what a VR can do. Yeah, okay.
It does. And it's so very cool because I talked about earlier about the bottlenecking that it happens because you don't have enough equipment in the office, right? There's not enough equipment, there's not enough anything to learn. And so it removes the bottlenecks because they can share this, do it 20 minutes at a time or whatever. And if you have, say you're in a school environment, then maybe you have multiple headsets that they can use at the same time. They're not going to be that expensive so that we can't have multiple. But then the great part for educators, there's real-time tracking. So you'll be able to tell how your students are doing from that test me phase, right? Because I could think I'm doing okay, but yet I may not be doing okay. And as an educator, I would take that information and say, okay, maybe we need to have a discussion about why we're doing it this way or whatever, would be additional education. So I think that's really great. And it removes the guesswork because there will be reports to say, hey, this person did test me. And then here's all of the reports that it had from that thing. So it's really, really cool. It's easy to see ROI from this thing. It's easy for reporting and it's easy to, it's incredibly scalable. In other words, like you can really use it for a lot of things. So I think it's great. I'm so excited. Oh, this is our portfolio.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll talk about that. And I think right now, so our focus was initially to start off, and our curriculum is mainly divided into 3 parts, if I can say. I think we started off with the assistant learning programs, and one of the top ones we started with is the scanning. And I told you my pain point, why we started off with that. And then so there are 3 iTeros scanning modules. We have the full fixed restorative, the digital denture scanning, and the full arch scannings. And the same goes with trio scannings now. And then, of course, we have one of the very popular one, sterilization and infection control for the new assistants. And, so that's current. And there is lot which is coming up, for other, I would say, domains or other users, like new dentists coming in, or maybe for the experienced dentists, we call those modules as confidence builders. So a lot we are capturing now. So it's funny, we started off with one category, and then I realized, anything or everything which can be process driven, which is SOP driven, we can all capture that in this virtual platform. So that was great.
Anything we want, right? Anything. When Dr. Manish and I first started working together, he says, where do you see this going? I'm like, oh my gosh, we could do it here, and here. we could teach everybody everything, right? We can do it. I see no reason why even business things, like case acceptance, like having scenarios that you walk through and having for case acceptance or anything like that, right? I see no reason why we can't have that. I'm so excited about the sterilization though, because that was my big baby, and it's a big baby. Like this is a very
Yeah.
large module,
Yeah.
right? But it goes
Yes.
from start to finish, and so
Yes.
there's so many errors that happen in that workflow, so many cross contamination errors that happen. So when somebody comes out and they're already confident in one of the hardest things to do in the practice, how cool is that, right? They'll
Oh,
know
just
the steps already.
for the audience, I just wanted to say, Sherrie just literally co-authored, or literally, I would say, authored the sterilization module like end to end. It was such a great help, and on that, to me, and I was showing this demo to one of my first demos to one of these, very important experienced dentist, and I was meeting him and I was showing this demo to him, and he was immediately goes like, "Oh, we can use this for sterilization right away." He said that, said what he said, I see this, the current modules and not the videos and the documentation and what you goes through. It's so boring.
Oh no, this is
why
fun.
why don't you create something on sterilization? I was like, okay, so I
There
think
you
I
go.
point taken, and I think, yeah, here we are.
We are. It's exciting though, just to have part of it. Is this video are we gonna watch this video now?
And we do have this latest one, and I'll tell you. Okay, Saurabh. So the trios one is the latest one, and here the model also is changed. We are directly now scanning on the patient's mouth. You can see in this video it will happen, and it's so the experience is now very, very realistic. So earlier in the first module we did, it was done on a on a typhodont, like on a model. Here, the experience we are giving is as if you are scanning a patient's mouth. So say you see the magnified version of in front of you, so as if like you are seeing the scanner, and it is guiding you on where to scan. There is some sort of trigger here which helps you to stay on the pathway. So that's a kind of a, I would say, proprietary thing we did, is like when you run the scanner, and in order to make you understand that you keep on the same pathway, there is the scanner light, and there is a trigger which is in place, so that if you sway away from that, it gives you some sort of haptic feedback, and then it doesn't move. The trigger doesn't move. So that's where Sherrie, you're talking about earlier about the over scanning issue. And this actually helps you because you stay on the pathway and you perform one tooth at a time, and you stay on that recommended pathway, and then you get the ideal outcome. So that's where following the right process. I always say this. This virtual reality platform is made for repetition training, for process-based training, and also some a bit about skill training, skill enhancement training, because what happens when you follow the right process, the byproduct you get is skill.
Absolutely.
That's why it's pretty intuitive, immersive, and it helps you following the right process.
It does. And this popped up earlier. There's some pop-ups that you see, little boxes that fall up, and those are tips. Or did you notice the one when he was speaking about if you have a hemostasis, that you need to make sure that it's clean and all that stuff, right? So there'll be tips that pop up along the way, or maybe a different scenario. Try this scenario, option 1 or option 2, whatever it would be, right? So I think that those things really do help.
Yes. So what we try to give is the gold standard training, but in a very structured and a fun manner. So that, so the training which is compiled is all recommended from the, like for example, if you're doing trio scanning, it's recommended from trios. This is the way you perform, but at the same time we have added certain tips and tricks, so which is coming from experience and gathering the information from all over and putting it there so that you get the best sort of experience. So
Love that.
talking a bit about so full arch, for example, again, following the right pathway, learning it in the right structured manner, is this what is our aim for any sort of any kind of scanning modules, and then how to manage the tissue for the for clear visualization, and real-time feedback for in the test me is amazing, because when you do the test me, for which step you are faltering. So even for the operatory manager, or for the somebody in HO, in head office of a DSO, and but he's not on that particular clinic or in that particular dental office, can know, okay, this is my couple of assistants are faltering on this area. So you kind of track can track easily and can improve, because it gives you, every time it gives you certain sort of report after you do the test me, and it helps you on further improving on that area. So that's pretty awesome.
It's really awesome too. And then you'll know where you might need real-time help, like with the actual scanner and a person standing there with you, right? So it's really targeted training that it will do. So we have some other training, right?
Yeah, we do have, but on this real-time feedback, we are also, kind of, and it's holds in future, but yes, we are developing that. There is soon gonna be, I can ask the audience this crazy name. I want that for my AI assistant, which is coming up. So there will be an AI assistant sitting on the VR app, and it will guide you while you are doing something wrong. Your scanner wand is going on the gum rather than on the occlusal surface of your teeth, and it will tell you, boss, you're in a different direction. So some sort of that. So we are developing that part, and it is in future. Right now, all the real-time feedback is nudges and the haptic feedbacks and the reports at the end. But this AI assistant will further improve that experience. So I just want to know from the audience, what's any funny or good or catchy
A
name
good
for
name, right?
AI assistant.
I should call him Douglas. This is Douglas from DGA.
Right.
Okay.
That's so cool. And this is the first time that I'm hearing about that. We'll have an onboard assistant. How cool is that?
Yeah, that will be there. You're developing something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so have all these tips that it'll give us, right?
Okay. Just wanted to share with the audience that we are running the audience poll. Please participate in that poll. It will be something which should help us learn together. So yes, please, Dr. Manish and Sherrie, please carry on.
Okay, so now of course, the fixed restorative scans, that's obviously the margin clarity is the biggest thing. If you follow the right, as you mentioned, you're doing the right moisture controls, and so following the right process steps, definitely you get better margin clarities. And this is number one pain point from somebody who's run the lab for long years. And
why is my margin open on my crown? Well, we couldn't see it. Like, come on.
Can't say that to the doctor, but at the same, everybody benefits, at the same time.
It does.
At the end of the day, lot less remake, savings, all the, I mean, you know this, right? You have been on that side of the world, and I think it's always so great when the crown is right, it's right there, right?
Absolutely. I have 3 recent crowns. I've been spending a lot of time in the chair in my old age here, but 3 recent crowns, they dropped right in without any adjustments, right? That is so patient friendly. I was so happy with that. As a patient sitting there, not having to like adjust it. And then when you have to do all those adjustments, then you take off that polish. And there's always those areas that are just rough, right? No matter what you do. And so when you have a great scan, you get a great product, your patient is so happy. That's just what it boils down to.
That's, that's the most impactful thing we feel we can contribute to. And
Yes.
I think if we are able to reduce remakes to a certain level, we're already doing that on a certain scale. But yeah, if this thing goes to where we want it goes, and it's a lot of people are kind of adopting it from the ground level and then moving ahead in their career, use this to learn all these different procedures, and if and that impacts in better operator confidence and better patient experience and a lot less remakes. That is the real power, I feel.
I do too. That's it. Just making our patients happy and them being so happy that they tell their friends to come see us because we're the bomb, right? That would be so great. And I know I'm so excited about the digital denture scanning. And I was telling Dr. Manish yesterday, I said, my mom has a digital denture and it was a 3D printed denture. And that thing is the bomb, man. There's like no adjustments hardly or at all. And it's doing well. And so I think that's so another procedure that's so patient friendly, right?
This actually, I was in one of the conference and this lot of dentists were asking for this particular module. And this is actually driven from the customer demand, I would say this, because, a lot of people are apprehensive from changing, especially the experienced dentists, the changing from analog workflow to the digital workflow. I see definitely there's number one procedure and definitely still they feel the scanners are not that great for while you're scanning the edentulous areas, but then they are super confident on the reference denture workflow. And that is where we started off. Right now we have the module which talks about the reference denture workflow in end-to-end way, and talks about the initial steps as well as the scanning part. So it's again a complete end-to-end procedure. So yeah, that's actually number one of ours. It's very popular module, and yeah, super happy.
I am too. It's just easy because those edentulous landmarks are difficult to get, right? And so this will really help people to, one, identify the landmark, because that's the hard part for a newbie, right? Just identifying the landmarks and then to capture them. So it's really cool. And this one is my first baby. I expect to be a mother of many, many modules here. But the sterilization, we do talk about PPE, hand washing, and then asepsis techniques. And then the sterilization workflow goes, like I said earlier, it goes from the start, I'm setting up my room, all the way to I'm setting up the next room. So all of the instrument reprocessing, the cleaning of the treatment rooms, all of those things are encased within this module. And so that, once again, it helps not only with the repetition of the steps themselves, but the order of the steps. And in an infection control, the order is so very important, right? So it'll go on there, and it really lets them practice and just be more confident when they get into their offices. So it's just exciting.
No, that's really a very comprehensive module, and it's kind of a life in a day for assistant who is tasked for this particular thing. Like you start from that first step to the very end step, and it comprises and completes everything in one module. So that's a very comprehensive module, and again, thank you for contributing to that, and it's so great.
You're welcome. There's more. I've already written more too, so that's cool. So now looking ahead, because I've already written more, and they're going to be on there, right? So what's in the future? What are we looking at?
Yeah, I mentioned a bit like we are having some of the modules for the new dentists who was just starting their journey. Again, just like assistants, they're not also super confident. They're just coming right out of the college, and they don't know. They have not done enough patients. So like for example, for the very basic ones is crown prep. So that is coming up, and for local anesthesia, that process is coming up. And then of course for the experienced dentists, we are talking about the smart denture conversions. That is the one which is actually came from the one of the dental groups which we work with, and they mentioned, this is one of the modules we really want you to develop, is how a regular complete denture, you convert that and make it that to an all an X denture. And they was actually, this group was struggling, how to cater the dentist, and the demand more, but again, in that particular group, there is only two persons who were equipped in the procedure. So actually, they wanted the assistant to be ready for this kind of conversion, or maybe newer dentists to be ready. And so we thought, okay, let's take this gold standard procedure, just transform the entire procedure into what we are. And here we are. So it's almost there. So we gonna be launching it this one in another month's time. The crown prep also is coming up in another month's time.
And these are so important because through my career, and I mean, thank you for not saying how many decades it's been, but through my career, my doctors have gone through a lot of training. Like they would go to these advanced classes, implants, IV sedation, all on four, these kind of classes. So they went to the class, but I did not. Right. I did not go to these classes. So when they come home, they go and they're fired up. We're going to do this procedure starting on Monday. And then Monday they can't do it because the team doesn't know what to do. Right. So now with VR, while the doctor's away, we can say, hey, you're going to learn all on four, right? Or all on X. You're going to go and learn this. So here, while I'm gone, while I'm in class, I want you to take this module, this VR module. I want you to take this and practice it, go through it, do it 25 times, however times it takes. That way, when they come back, their dental assistant is prepared. You're going to have a higher implementation. You're going to have a higher case acceptance, because your dental assistant is going to truly understand the procedure, and then they'll be able to help the patient to understand the procedure, right? This is just a win-win for everybody.
No, so that's what we call it. We are partnering with some of the training companies, they do their hands-on, and they're bundling this VR course along with their hands-on. So it's kind of they call it as a take me home training. So it's as if like you have taken the course for, even for the dentist, it's little in the earlier days when there is no option to bundle this thing, you have taken this hands-on and the actual procedure is in your office in 2 months down the line, or 3 months down the line. That particular experience dwindles down a bit. But with this, it's a take-home package. You actually can practice a day before, a night before, and be more ready for your patient. And as you said, for keeping that staff up to the speed, I think this is great. This is not lecturing. This is actually experience they can do.
Experience. It's hands-on. It's like at a pace that I can get in, I can understand, and that I can remember. That's the key, right? I have to be engaged, in other words, to remember all the stuff, because there's a lot of steps. And so if I'm doing it in a way that is different, we love that. We love different, right? And I'm doing it in a way I'm actually working. I'm doing something with my hands.
Sure.
I am going to remember that a whole lot better. As a dental assistant, my whole entire life, I tell you, we are hands-on people, and
Yeah,
we are very hands-on people, right? And so being able to do it like that is vital. It's just vital to the process, and I just think it's going to be you're going to gain so much more out of this experience that transfers immediately into your daily workflow.
definitely.
Immediately.
You learn a lot by doing, actually, rather than by just
Yes.
listening and reading. So that's
Yes.
the fundamentals of our training. You
And
actually
we have
learn.
one more coming up here on one more slide if you want to change that for us. It's the four-handed dentistry. And this is one of those things. The four-handed dentistry has always been it's a dance that the doctor and the dental assistant play, right? They do this dance all day long.
Yeah.
And it's so many times, I cannot even count how many times a doctor has come to me and said, please teach my dental assistants how to pass instruments. Please teach them where to hold the curing light. Please teach them how to suction, for goodness sakes. You know what I mean? And so this module will kind of go over all of those things, so where that the person can actually do it. And instrument
Yeah.
passing, that's an art. I mean, it takes a lot of finger finesse, if you will, to do it. And so I'm really excited about this one too, because it really will help with that basic workflow that we struggle with every
Yeah.
single day when we're learning.
Yeah. I think this will be a great addition to the dental assistant program for sure.
I think it will. And I talked about earlier about beyond the clinical skill, right? Patient communication. When you understand the procedure and it is like second nature, you're going to be able to explain things a whole lot better to the patients, right? You're going to be able to do that. Treatment coordination, because you're going to understand all of the steps, then you'll know, when do you need to talk to a specialist? When do you need a special supply? How many implants do you have to have on in your stock? All those kind of things. You're going to be able to know that because you know the procedures.
No,
You're going to know
I say this, it's very, very difficult to, teach somebody soft skills. So this talks about that. And this is very valuable when you're starting. And, if you see, majority of our, courses are focused on the new person, like either he's a dentist or an assistant starting new. And I think beyond clinicals, it's important to actually, give that same confidence to the patient back, listen to your patient and all that aspects. It's super important, so that patient feel comfortable around you. So yes, we are, trying to cover all that different clinical situation, different situations, and when patient doctor interactions and all that. I would love to hear from the audience what they feel are the really impactful areas, what all topics we should cover in those interactions and all that. So definitely this is something we are very excited about. At the same time, it goes beyond clinical experience.
It really does. And you guys, if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat, and then we can work on getting those answered for you when Chhabra is going through our live presentation there. We're going to run out of time. That's why I said that. So we need to kind of wrap this up, boys.
Okay, so yeah, I think we talked about this a bit. So I think the right now we are trying to address the initials, working with certain dental schools and working with independent practices, keep making that sure the ground is solid. And then of course it's all about standard technique. The training experience and everything is very standardized, and then of course ultimately leading a much bigger scale of users going through this kind of training. So one is reaching out to the initial phase, right? So definitely we are in very much initial phase, but then once it is standardized, it can create a lot of bigger impact.
It's so true. So we do have a great question in here. It says, what are the ethical considerations should be kept in mind when using VR with real patient data? I can kind of answer that. There's no real patient data.
Yeah,
Like
there is no
none.
patient data we are
No
adding
patient
here.
data at all.
Yeah,
But
we are
that's
no
a great
patient
question, though. I'm glad you asked.
So what happens is, like, when you are importing a real thing, like for example, there are I think I understand where this question is coming from, and I happen to in fact we are also working towards that maybe in future. So if you are adding certain like for example real CBCT scan of a patient, so you can always encrypt certain details when it talks about mainly patient details. You can get the data in terms of only the scan, but you can encrypt certain all the details. So that's where you're not importing any vital patient information at the first place. So that is where when you start going and importing and exporting the real patient scan data and all that. So that is where,
Right.
but right now we are not dealing in that frame right now. It's all about, we are talking about here the generic standardized procedures following one certain kind of model. And these all models are kind of 3D modeled in a Unity gaming.
They're from pictures that I sent. That's a picture that I
related to a
sent.
patient.
Right. The developers take this picture and then make it 3D, right? So it's not, there's no patient data there. But that's a great question. And maybe in the future, you never can tell. Chhabra, are you ready?
In fact, sure, Saurabh. Let's do this one quick demo run, and then we can take final poll.
Other questions, you guys drop them in the question and answer for us.
You guys are more than we are more than happy to answer any of your queries, so you can drop in chat. Meanwhile, Saurabh is getting ready for the VR demo.
While we're waiting, so we can tell everybody, go check us out online. There's a great website. DGA, what is it? DGA. I can't think of the site now as I say that. What is the website?
DGAdental.com.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think it's the part of the. I can definitely send that for the users in the chat box.
Okay, that would be awesome. DGAdental.com, and you can see some. There are examples that you can watch of the VR. There's some commercials and like meet the team kind of thing on there too. So it's really, we are a work in progress. So it's it's an evolution that's going on with this, and it's just very cool. I mean, it's very it makes me excited to be part of this process. So there's all of the things there.
I guess we are waiting a little bit for the demo, but
yeah, I'm just waiting for it to connect.
Waiting for it to connect, right?
Yes, just a couple of seconds. I can start presenting.
Sure.
Okay. I'm not going to lie. It took me a hot minute to figure out how to do the technical part, but
Yes.
yeah, now I'm good.
So we
I'm really good at it.
of course, so no, that's a very important thing, because initially you get very apprehensive to use a new technology and everything. We have a great support partner in US, and that works on in the US hours. So that helps a lot, for the initial teething issues, if I can say. Right now, and we are also learning on from our mistakes, and we are not right now giving a certain sort of help booklet in the box itself to help our new for the users. So not get so it's covered more than 90% of the any problems encountered. But for your help, there is always a
I know, and they're
assistance.
nice. They're so Johnny on the spot. I talked to Kevin last week because my headset did an update, and I'm like, "Hey, it doesn't know my email address." So he got right on the phone with me and put my email address in there now so I could get back in. But they're very helpful, right there, very timely, great customer service. It really was great customer service.
It's important. We wanted to have somebody in US itself to
Yeah.
handle those. Yeah.
And while he's doing that, guys, I know what I was going to say. There's just some basic rules of the road, if you will, and that because when you're using the headset, your arms, your hands are going everywhere. So you need to be in an area that's got 2 or 3 feet around you that has no lamps that you're going to knock over. Ask me how I know that. And like I tried to do it sitting at my desk, and I kept pushing my computer off of my desk and that kind of stuff. So you have to have a little area around, and some of them work really well when you're sitting. Other modules you need to kind of stand up to be able to maneuver through them. So it's just things like that that we just have to keep in mind of like just like if you're playing a video game at home, you know how excited the teenager gets and they jump up and down and they're running around and everything. You got to have some safety zone for that. But it's actually pretty easy to do. And then it comes in a nice box. I think mine's right here. I can show you.
Right.
So you
So I'm
get it
just
in this nice little case.
waiting for it to connect.
There you go. You get it in a nice little case, so it's all safe and everything is in there. And it charges, USB charging. Pretty cool. Are we ready?
Well,
That's
I'm
great.
just waiting for it to connect. That's it.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
It's the connection to the computer, everybody. It's not the connection to the headset. It does work much faster than that.
Yeah, I think it's the casting thing where you casting it and presenting it to the your laptop. That's takes some time.
It does.
Yeah,
So we did.
I think we should have timed it better, maybe, but maybe we went to the flow of the webinar.
It did. We did have some questions that we wanted to kind of answer. If anybody else has one, drop it in there because we can answer yours live. But I think we talked about one of the biggest mistakes that a dental assistant makes. And I think we've already said that is to overscan. And think about my 20-minute scan when I first learned how to do it, right? The next thing that's a biggest mistake that people, not just dental assistants, but overall on the scanner, is they don't use the tools. Like, do you know that there's onboard tools that can like fill and erase and stitch and all those kind of things? And they're hidden in there. Like you have to touch the scanner in order to get the tools. So
those tips and tricks, those important tips and tricks for following the giving. That's why I tell this, you follow the recommended right process and the
Uh,
byproduct is skill. Byproduct
Thank
skill.
you.
That's why I tell this.
Let's see what
Okay.
other questions. Um,
I suppose I'm facing some kind of a technical issue. We
okay.
could arrange a separate session for the demo. They can
Okay.
email to us. Uh,
Uh, that is okay. So we can always, have a separate session, or maybe for anyone who is interested, they can reach out to us and have a live demo. In fact, that is option. That option is available, and then yeah,
That's awesome.
sure.
okay, so that's
Thanks for
the
having me.
email. That's our email to support@dgadental.com. You can visit us at www.dgadental.com. Just to have a quick check, I have a couple of questions which have been popped up. The audience are really curious to know exactly what's happening in the VR world. One of the questions that has been popped up says, how does the orientation guide me, test me learning module actually work inside a VR headset? Yeah, Dr. Manish, if you can answer that.
Yeah, I mean, the journey is made like that. You start off with orientation. You get used to the environment. As
Mhm.
Sherry was just pointing out a while. You know, there are some modules which are done better sitting, and there's some better standing. And then you obviously need to know about the environment where you're working on. You should definitely will not love to bang on to your furniture, right? So it's all about giving you some sort of guidance at the very initial phase. That's all about orientation. And then try me and guide me is all about giving you it's a voiceover guided instruction training, a straightforward thing. So it's a virtual trainer on sitting on your VR headset. And
I
then
think it is.
finally the test me.
I think that part of the question was, how does it get on the headset? Was that part of the question?
Yes. How
Okay,
does
Yes.
it?
so how it does get is like through our amazing support team in US. And so what we does is like what you get eventually is the already installed headset. So you simply are making this thing on when you receive it, connect through your Wi-Fi
Let me see my.
in a single step, and that's it. You don't need to do anything about installation. In future, if there is something new comes in and you want to get get a newer app or newer module in place, you can reach out to our support team, and then they will guide you in the background. They have the option. If your only thing is your Wi-Fi should be on, and then they can push that app
Mhm.
on the background. So
It
it's all
it updates
controlled in
just
the
like your
background.
iPad. Just like your iPad updates. It does the same thing, or your computer.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
It
can
just
say
Yeah.
that.
pushes it.
Much
Mhm.
simpler. Yeah.
Okay, we'll take another question. I have a question from another participant saying that do the VR modules cover both iTero and Trio's workflows, and are they updated as scanner technology evolves?
Okay, so you basically it's all if you pay for Itero, you get Itero. Of course, these all single modules are chargeable. Yeah, and if you, I mean, typically a dental office uses only one type of scanner. So they only get, if they're using Trio scanning, so they get the Trios modules, and that typically they order for. So and all the other ones will be grayed out. You can see the entire list, but it's all grayed out. But I think you get what you pay for. So it's not coming as a same one package everything. So we don't want you to charge unnecessarily, exorbitant amount. It's just one module. Whatever you require, you can just pay for that, and then you get that on module.
Cool. Thank
And
you so
yes,
much
for the updates, definitely we have the latest one ready. But if there's anything which comes up, especially in the Itero and Trios, we keep on releasing the new versions, as if like there is a new software version coming up, but we keep on releasing the new versions for our existing users or for the new users as well.
Cool. I think we're just running out of time. I'll just take one last question. Okay, the question is, how quickly can a new assistant expect to reach clinical readiness after going through these VR courses?
Well, way
Okay.
faster than normal.
Yeah. So Sherrie, you are the live example.
Yeah, way faster than normal. I think that by repetition, because they can do it as many times in a row as they want, right? So they can do it faster. And another great thing about it is that as the content is is developed, then it's pushed, you can get it pushed to your headset, and then you'll have new content on there also. But because there's unlimited repetitions, they're going to learn faster.
Okay, cool. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for your time, Sherrie, today, and Dr. Manish. We
You're
are
welcome.
actually overshot our time. Thank you so much, all the wonderful audience who joined today. So you can always reach out to us at support@dgadental.com, and I will be more than happy to have a chat with you, possibly give you a live demo. And yeah, that's something that can be done. So looking forward to talking to you all. We would be sharing the recording of this webinar with all the audience, and of course, you could ask questions about the webinar. And soon you can look out that we are going to be having another webinar by end of this month. So do look out for this space. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Struggling to keep up with your business needs? From AI-powered social media solutions to smart blog creation, hiring assistants, and tailored e-commerce strategies, we've got it all. Visit skillbloomer.com and transform your business with AI today. Struggling to keep up with your business needs? From AI-powered social media solutions to smart blog creation, hiring assistants, and tailored e-commerce strategies, we've got it all. Visit skillbloomer.com and transform your business with AI today.